How is it going, everyone? For a lot of you guys, I know it's a busy month if you're picking up a lot of games, but it seems like based on assessing my comment section and some of my previous videos, a lot of you guys are super excited for the follow-up to Horizon Zero Dawn, released 5 years ago. Yes, it has been 5 years since Zero Dawn came out. It's kind of wild. I remember it like it was yesterday. One of the hotly anticipated early PlayStation 4 titles, and now we are finally coming up on the release of the direct sequel, Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Now, there's a lot of things to know about this game before you drop your hard-earned money. Remember that it is coming to the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. Content-wise, the games will be very similar across the two platforms. Obviously, from a visual standpoint, you are going to have some benefits on the PlayStation 5, and we're going to get to that later. But before we get into anything, maybe some of you guys will turn off the video halfway through. I want to get this out directly. If you are going to be buying this game digitally especially, go and buy the PlayStation 4 version of the game. I don't know why this is going on, but if you go on the PlayStation Store, Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 4 is $60, $59.99 here in the States, and the PS5 version is $69.99, that'd be $70 here in the States. Well, Horizon Forbidden West is actually going to be the final game that gets a direct PS4 to PS5 upgrade for free. So if you buy the PlayStation 4 version, you're going to save $10 right off the bat. So hopefully none of you guys are paying $70 for the game. The only reason I could see people paying $70 is if you're buying the game physically and you want the PS5 version of the game on a disc. I could kind of understand that. Even then, if you buy the PlayStation 4 version in store, you can upgrade to the PS5 version, so just something to consider there. Trying to help you guys save a little bit of money, and now people are gonna probably come out in the comments and be like, I'm buying the Regalia Edition, $250. Alright, now let's talk about the game itself. Now, with Forbidden West, I would recommend you to play Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a very narrative-driven game, and to know the story is gonna be pretty helpful, so there's a lot of context that you can get from playing Zero Dawn. I'm not gonna go into story specifics right here, because some of you guys might be playing Zero Dawn, or you get the idea, but right off the top, I do want to talk about Horizon Forbidden West from a gameplay standpoint, because this to me seems like the biggest improvement they are making to the game. Now, I liked Horizon Zero Dawn's gameplay, but based on the people that I talked to, based on looking at social media, that seemed to be the one point of contention for a lot of people. Like, some people thought it was just okay, not the greatest thing in the world, but in the case with Horizon Forbidden West, it really does seem like they are looking at this as an evolution of the Horizon combat while retaining the fundamentals, adding a lot of variety and a quantity of ways where you can tackle each specific situation. I want to take an excerpt from the PlayStation blog. It's a little bit lengthy, so bear with me, but they describe it, again, as combat evolved. Quote, for the team at Guerrilla, one of the goals for Horizon Forbidden West was to significantly evolve the combat design from Horizon Zero Dawn and to continue to build on the principles of player freedom and choice during encounters in the open world. Charles Perrine, combat designer of the game, noted, Aloy is a smart and agile combatant. In Horizon Forbidden West, the tools at her disposal generate a wide array of tactics that allow her to engage with physically stronger opponents, from fully armored humans to very large machines. And of course, just like Zero Dawn, there's gonna be a plethora of different encounters, some with humans, some with machines, some with a mix of both based on the gameplay that we've seen, and there will be a larger quantity of machines as well, and how you're gonna engage those in combat is gonna be different. Perrine continued by noting, our changes to combat design stayed true to Aloy's identity. First, we wanted to add additional depth to gameplay and increase the skill cap for players through skills like melee combos and valor surges. Players who spend more time perfecting their combat skills will find some efficient and stylish ways to dispose of their enemies. Second, we wanted to cater to a variety of playstyles and really focus on freedom of choice. Through new weapons and outfits, which can be upgraded at a workbench, players can adapt their tactics. Finally, we wanted to design challenging enemies that encourage players to use all their abilities and skills. A whole new set of machines as well as advanced human enemies will keep players on their toes throughout the game. Again, the new variety of machines is going to play a role in the expanded gameplay elements, and you've got new machines like the Slither Fang, Rollerback, and Sunwing machines, which were all detailed on the PlayStation blog, and they each got a specific trailer. And of course, the expanded array of machines is going to play a direct role in the expanded gameplay options. You've got new machines like an armored defensive Rollerback, you've got something like a more graceful Sunwing, and then you have the Slither Fang who is spewing out acid, and on top of that, there's going to be several more. more. Specifically, if you do look at the Horizon Forbidden West strategy guide, that notes that there's over 40 machines. That's kind of the verification that we got on that. So over 40 machines is pretty significant. And on top of that, environments are going to play a role into the gameplay elements as well, and how you use those environments to your advantage is going to expand gameplay opportunities. Circling back to the PlayStation blog coming from the gameplay animation director, it was noted, quote, "It was important to us that players feel like Aloy has grown in her skills and confidence coming from her adventures in Horizon Zero Dawn and the Frozen Wild. She gained a lot of experience and that needed to show in her animations. Our aim was to show that Aloy is more comfortable traversing her environment without losing sight of the fact that she's human. Of course, so things don't always go perfectly for her. The grapple mechanic is a good example of this. She's more agile and resourceful, but at the same time, we show the physical struggle when she's being pulled up on bigger inclines." That's more of a thing of attention to detail, but again, it's something nice that adds a level of authenticity, and the AI improvements is also added a layer of authenticity, noting we wanted enemies to feel more authentic by improving the fluidity and continuity of motion, like making enemies and companions more capable of traversing rugged terrain. The AI in Horizon Zero Dawn already supported some dynamic terrain changes, but we wanted to take this further by adding jumping and climbing as a systemic part of the behavior. As you're playing the game, the AI will be searching for opportunities to take shortcuts where it previously was a cumbersome detour. And on top of that, improving Aloy's skills and equipment has been overhauled as well. On the PlayStation blog, it was noted one entirely new concept in Horizon Forbidden West is the workbench, where you can upgrade and strengthen weapons and outfits. This unlocks new perks, mod slots, skills, and offers a bigger degree of customization, resistances, and new abilities for players. On top of that, of course, we had the skill tree in Horizon Zero Dawn, and fundamentally, that is still remaining similar. However, it was completely redesigned with additional tracks and skills within the skill tree. Skills also synergize with those that are either already present on outfits or need to be unlocked on them. So again, that is putting a lot of emphasis on player choice and you figuring out the best playstyle for you. And there are a plethora of other tweaks that were included as well. And maybe just saying tweaks is a little bit of an understatement. Of course, there's the Valor Surge feature. There are 12 in total, with each of them representing and strengthening a specific approach to the game. You unlock them and upgrade them through the skill tree. For example, Aloy can utilize a radial blast on enemies, and on top of that, with enemies now fighting more so in groups alongside humans and factions, you're talking about being a little bit more selective and having a little bit more strategy in terms of combat, choosing who to take out first, etc., etc., and that's going to play a part in determining what skills you take and how your playstyle is going to evolve throughout the game. There's a lot more to talk about the gameplay in terms of the evolution of it. Again, I think this is the biggest leap forward for the game based on what I'm seeing, but there's also other topics we gotta talk about. What is the size of the game? Obviously, with an open world like Horizon Forbidden West, much like Horizon Zero Dawn, it's gonna be an expansive world to explore. It's gonna have a lot of side content. Yeah, you can probably rush through the game and finish it in sub 20 hours, but there's gonna be a plethora of additional content, and Horizon Forbidden West was noted to be just as long as Horizon Zero Dawn, so that's relatively lengthy. Honestly, I'm not looking for a game that over exceeds 100 hours. I know games are getting bigger and bigger, but I also think it's good to have a level of brevity, and Horizon Zero Dawn was a lengthy game if you were trying to get the Platinum Trophy, for example. If Forbidden West is going to be similar to that, that's pretty good. That was coming from German site GamePro. And remember, Zero Dawn, I think for most people, if you were taking your time and doing the side content, it was probably at least taking you 30-35 hours, and then if you really wanted to get the Platinum Trophy, you're talking north of 50 hours, at least north of 45 hours. So it was an incredibly lengthy game, all things considered. Now, obviously, Forbidden West this time around is going to be released on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Everybody's super curious about performance these days, so let's talk about the various performance differences between the two modes. So you're gonna have a 4K and 30 frames per second quality mode on the PlayStation 5. On top of that, you're gonna be having a 60 frames per second performance mode on the PlayStation 5. So those are gonna be the options you're gonna have. As far as settings modes on the PlayStation 5, you're going to have a quality mode that's going to be running at 4K and 30 frames per second, and then you will also be having a performance mode that will be running at 60 frames per second. I know that there is a level of disappointment whenever we can't get 4K 60 FPS these days, but 4K 60 FPS is very difficult to pull off, especially when you factor in ray tracing as well. That's just not going to happen. 4K 60 FPS and ray tracing, that's a trifecta very few games are going to have on the PlayStation 5. PS5, so if you're expecting that at any point with these major releases, I would really temper your expectations on that, and, you know, at the end of the day, it is a $400 or $500 box that, unfortunately, is going for $800 or $900 on eBay, but them's the breaks these days. On PlayStation 4, it is targeting 1080p and a consistent 30 frames per second. We actually did see gameplay on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and honestly speaking, looking at it, based on what we saw, it looked pretty darn good for a PlayStation 4. So if you're looking to play Horizon Forbidden West on the PS4, PS4 Pro is the gameplay we saw. Expect a similar experience of what you saw in Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, I thought the frame rate was relatively consistent in that, at a 30 frames per second, sometimes dips a little bit lower, but definitely playable if you're used to the 30 FPS experience. And finally, I do want to talk a little bit about the various different editions that you can buy of the game. Now, first of all, again, if you are buying the Standard Edition, your route that you should probably go is pick up the PlayStation 4 version, get a free upgrade to the PS5 version. That way, also, you can lend the game to a buddy that has a PS4 and not a PS5, so that's something to consider as well. On top of that, there will be a variety of different deluxe editions. There is the Digital Deluxe Edition, which includes both the PS4 and PS5 version, 2 special outfits, 2 special weapons, an in-game resource pack, in-game Apex Claw Strider Machine Strike piece, exclusive photo mode pose, and face paint, digital art book, digital soundtrack, digital version of the Sunhawk. Then you do have the Special Edition, which includes the full game choice of either PS4 Disc Edition or PS5 Disc Edition. You'll get a steelbook with that, you'll get a mini art book, and you'll get a downloadable content for the digital soundtrack and Nora Legacy outfit and spear. Remember, you get a disc copy of the game with this version, so that is quite nice. There is the Special Edition. Now, that is available in limited quantity, so your mileage may vary on acquiring one. That includes the PS4 and PS5 version digitally. Definitely something to consider. I mean, if you're a collector looking for an edition like this, I don't know how excited you're going to be on that. You'll get the Steelbook display case, you'll get a custom sculpted Tremor Tusk and Aloy statue, a mini art book, 2 special outfits, 2 special weapons, in-game resource pack, Apex Claw Strider, photo mode pose, and face paint, digital soundtrack, and digital version of the Sunhawk, and the first Horizon Zero Dawn graphic novel. And finally, we do have the Regala Edition. This had an MSRP of $249.99, but it has been sold out everywhere, so eBay, the price is gouged to all hell. Includes everything that you got in the previous edition, but also includes a replica Focus and custom stand, 2 art print cards, replica Sunwing, and Claw Strider machine physical strike pieces. And again, you've got everything from the previous edition as well. $250, but I believe it's going for like $400 or $500 on eBay, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but yeah, them's the breaks. And again, digital copy with this edition as well, which is just, yeah, really hope we don't go down this route with Collector's Edition. I mean, if you're buying a Collector's Edition, chances are you're a bit of a collector and you probably would want a physical copy of the game. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. But that is going to do it for me. I really only scratched the surface. I didn't want to get into any story specifics. I know a bunch of people that are doing a playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn, or they're playing it for the first time ahead of the release of this game. So yeah, enjoy that. It is upgraded to 60 FPS, that being Horizon Zero Dawn on PS5, but that will do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.